Look at this. It all came as one, so it counts. Oh my goodness. Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to G-Rod Grills. My name is Gerardo and this is my channel. If you're into backyard barbecue on a variety of different grills, whether it's pellet, charcoal, or electric, then absolutely please consider subscribing because that's exactly what this channel is all about. Today I'm going to be making a pork shoulder for pulled pork. This is also known as a pork butt. If you've watched some of my other videos, you know I'm all about low and slow, but today we're going to be doing it hot and fast. That means I'm going to be cooking at 300 degrees for the entirety of the cook. Normally, I like to go low and slow, 200, 225, maybe 250 if I'm pushing it. For the first part of it, I wrap it and then I turn the heat up. In this case, nope, we're gonna go heat up the entire way. It's still gonna be delicious and you'll see it's just as easy, just takes a little bit less time. Are you ready to get going? Let's go. All right, here we go. We've got ourselves about an 11-pound pork butt. And I'll be honest, I don't think I've ever cooked something this big before. So this is massive, but that's all right. It's gonna cook the same. It's just gonna take a little longer. Just gonna score some of this fat here. Love the way this marbling is on the side. That means it's gonna be lots of really good flavor here. So super easy. Just gonna go ahead and score this. And when you're scoring the fat cap, really just wanna go, you don't wanna go too deep, about 1/4 of an inch. Done and done. Next, I'm gonna flip her over and I'm gonna start on the other side first. I'm gonna use my binder. My binder is just regular yellow mustard here. Just gonna put a little bit on. You don't need to use a binder, just the way I've always done pork. And then to start, I'm gonna start with Whiskey Bent, the Blazing Bird. Now, if you've got time, let that soak in. If not, no big deal. Just go ahead and move on to your next one. Next one is going to be Sucklebuster's Honey Barbecue Rub. This is a pork and chicken rub. Goes really good on pork. Now this one's a little coarser, so that's why we're putting it on top. And we'll do it again on the other side. Exact same thing, really nothing changes. This is the easiest part of doing this. A little bit of binder, and we'll do it again. And again, Honey Barbecue Rub. A big old butt ready. Now we're just gonna let it sit here, let it sweat out. You'll see that the meat will start releasing some of its moisture to the top. The rub will start to set in. Once that starts to happen, then we're ready to put it in the smoker. Smoker's already going at 300 degrees, probably been there for the last 10 minutes or so. And just before it goes on, next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use my Meter Plus here, wireless thermometer. I am going to be putting this in the bones on this side. So I don't want to put it near there. I'm going to put it right towards the middle here, probably right about here is good. That's just going to give me my internal temperature on this, and just to make sure that I know where I'm at for when I want to spritz and when I want to wrap and all that jazz. And I'll show you when we put this back on the smoker. All right, I'm going to put it in. As you can see here, I've got the Traeger set up with my smoke tube on the side. I'm using the smoke tube because we're running at 300 degrees, so there isn't a whole lot of smoke that comes out at 300 degrees, so we want to supplement with that. I'm going to put this right kind of in the middle of this. I'm going to put it where the bone side is, which is right here. I'm going to put that facing the fire pot, which is on this side. So, go like this. Give this bite a little squeeze. That's it. I'm going to close the lid. I'm gonna let this go here for about an hour or so undisturbed, but after that first hour, I'm gonna keep a really close eye on it. Maybe every half an hour to every 45 minutes, I'm gonna come back and spritz it. I'm gonna be using a half and half mixture of apple juice and apple cider vinegar. And the reason for that is I don't want that surface to get overly dry. We are cooking at a really high temperature here, so I wanna be really careful that the top part of this pork butt doesn't get dry, because as it dries, it'll continue to burn, or it'll start to burn. There is a lot of sugars on there, so the sugars can burn very easily. So we really want to keep an eye on this. Like I said, 1 hour, and time it if you want. 1 hour, let the smoke flow, let that get in there. But we're going to come back and start checking at about the 1 hour mark, and I'm going to spritz every half an hour to 45 minutes after that. until I get to an internal temperature of about 165 degrees. Now that is not, as you know, 165 degrees is not really the important part. That's just my benchmark for when I think the bark will start getting to the point where I want it. So keep a close eye on it after your first hour. All right, so it's been about an hour. Just gonna go ahead and give this a spritz. So you can see it's already pretty dry on top. Other than some of the fat coming off of my finger, there's nothing else that's coming out. So I'm gonna give her a little spritz. That's pretty much it. Then I'm gonna come back in about half an hour, 45 minutes, and do it again. Okay, here we go. So we're about 5 hours into this cook. My internal temperature is at about 168 degrees, but more importantly, you can see here, my bark is fully set. Perfect little color, nice, beautiful red, starting to get nice and dark all around. It looks perfect. So not going to do too much to this here. I'm just going to use the rest of my spritz liquid here, which is about, I would say maybe about a quarter cup. I'm just going to pour it over top of this, just to give it a little extra moisture. This is going to drop a lot of moisture on it as it is, so don't really need a whole lot more. I'm going to take my probe out for now, and I'm just going to wrap this super tight. You'll see that it is in a foil pan, but the only reason why it's there is just in case I puncture anything in this foil, the juices don't fall into the grates, it just stays in the pan. So I'm just going to wrap this as tight as I can. You want this to be as tight as you can possibly get it. I'm going to put this right back in, about to where it was. It's all ready to go. We're going to put it back on the smoker, and I'm actually going to turn the temperature up to 350 degrees. We're going to ride that out until I get my alert that comes on at 195 to 200 degrees, and then I'm going to start checking for tenderness. I'll show you that when we're ready to go. All right, here we go. So the temperature has gone off a few times now. I started checking at about 195. Certainly wasn't done. I just wanted to show you what this is supposed to look like. You can see some of those holes there from where I've been poking. I'm not looking for temperature, just looking for just what it feels like. So when I go into one of these holes, my probe just goes in and out like nothing. If you want to look at an internal temperature, not sure if you can see there, it's reading at about 210 degrees. Now, hot and fast is always going to be done a little bit hotter or warmer than low and slow. So low and slow, I would have expected this to be done at about 200, 203 degrees. This is about 210. I'm going to call this done. I'm going to go ahead and turn the smoker off. I'm going to take that and let it rest, and I'll show you back when we pull it apart. All right, so this has been resting for about half an hour. We're going to go ahead and unwrap this. Normally I would let this rest for a little bit longer, but I'm starving, so let's give this a go. All right, so hopefully you can see there all those juices all over the place here. Let's just get it in there. I'm just going to get in there, try to find the bone if I can get in there. Look at this. It's still incredibly hot, but bone comes out, no problem whatsoever. And let's go ahead and give her a squeeze. Oh, hopefully you can see this. Look at that smoke ring on that. Nice, beautiful smoke ring. Just tender as can be. I can't wait to have a taste. Oh, my mouth is watering. Let's do this. All right. All right. Look at this. It all came as one, so it counts. Oh my goodness. So juicy, so tender. Pulled pork just the way you want it. Look at this. Oh no, this was actually closer to 12 pounds. 12-pound pork butt, cooked for about 7.5 hours, plus about a half an hour rest. So we're talking 8 hours for 12 pounds of a bone-in pork butt. You don't even do a regular 8 to 10 pound pork butt low and slow in 8 hours. Absolutely, if you're tight on time, I mean, the flavor is just incredible still. You miss a little bit of the smoke flavor in it. It's very, very light. I mean, you're really getting a lot of it from that smoke tube that was rolling in there. But I mean, it's, like I said, it's tender, it's juicy. It does not dry out like one would expect when it's been cooking at so fast. And look at this, it's still very, very hot. But I'm definitely still in for low and slow. But I'll tell you what, next time I get a 12 pounder, I'm definitely gonna budget 8.5 hours so that I can rest this a little bit longer, so that I know I'm gonna be done. This is absolutely delicious, and I can't wait to put this on a bun and have some of it. Well, that's all I got for you today. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure you hit that like button. If you wanna see some more of this, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and don't forget to ring the bell so you don't miss out on any content. Until next time, as always, I'll catch you on the next G-Rod Grills.